Hello everybody, and welcome to Dan and Shane Talk About. Today, we're talking about Transformers: Age of Extinction. Okay, so this is the fourth attempt by Michael Bay to try and make a Transformers movie.
Cookie goes to anybody to guess if he did it or not. Essentially, this is a few years after Battle of Chicago and Transformers 3. That did see a lot of the city of Chicago annihilated by giant fucking robots. So, naturally, humanity's a bit skeptical about this. Like, they're worried. Transformers apparently are not our friends. Because, they kill humans. So, the U.S. government has decided that they're going to take the fight to the Transformers before they can take the fight to us. So they start hunting down Transformers. They're doing this with the assistance of Lockdown, a Transformer. We'll speak more on that later. Mark Wahlberg as Cade Yeager, who is a down-on-his-luck, widowed father of one, who I guess is an inventor. That's his thing. It's like the father from Gremlins, who's like the weird wacky inventor who has unless he was like Mark Wahlberg and from Texas. They need to make that point. Yeah, they had to make that point. Essentially, he stumbles across this truck that, surprise, surprise, is Optimus Prime. And wacky adventures ensue as they try to save the world from lockdown and these new Transformers that this totally not Steve Jobs allegory is building. They are creating their own brand of Transformers. Essentially, we don't need their Transformers because we have our own human-controlled ones now that are made from the harnessed metal of dead Transformers. It's a new metal referred to as Transformium. They should already give you a clue about what kind of movie this is. So anyway, what happens is all three factors are looking after this seed, and of course hilarity ensues, and there's a giant city-destroying fight in the middle, Basically, your 3-act structure for every Transformers movie. Really, this is kind of the same stuff that we've seen from Transformers movies. Autobots good, humans bad. Autobots
government trying to hide stuff from the Autobots.
Yeah. Autobots save humanity!
And humans doing stupid shit. But before we get into that, let's actually go into some of the positives. The one thing I will say about this is I actually did like the character of Lockdown.
Yeah.
He's like this big intergalactic bounty hunter. As far as comparing him to Megatron, Megatron has basically just been this kind of side thing, really. Megatron
has been a big silver punching bag.
Really, he has. And he just he has a lot of build-up and oh, this is going to be big, and it's over.
And nothing.
All the time. So this time, though, Lockdown is actually a featured villain, which feels nice. He actually feels a little fleshed out.
And he is kicking ass.
Exactly.
And that's one of the big things, too. He beats the ever-loving shit out of the Autobots.
He straight up kills Ratchet at the beginning of the movie.
He kills Ratchet. It's kind of implied that he's the one that's been the main reason why all these Autobots are dying. Optimus Prime, when he shows up at the beginning all beat to shit, they mentioned it was a trap set by Transformers. By humans. Yeah. And it's kind of implied Lockdown was there. So Optimus Prime got his ass beat by Lockdown.
And he's this big intergalactic bounty hunter.
Right.
Who just happens to be a Transformer.
Yeah. He's not an Autobot. He's not a Decepticon.
He's a guy who has a gun for a face and wants money. And to be honest, it feels nice kind of seeing that because he's actually featured in a lot of scenes.
Yeah.
And he actually feels like he's fleshed out. The movie makes it very clear he's the main villain. He has time to sink in about how villainous he is.
You knew when Lockdown showed up on screen some shit was going down.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I like. I actually like that because it's oh, hey, after The Fallen, Megatron, and Sentinel Prime, Sentinel Prime was maybe the closest we got to a villain. Or at least feeling like a fleshed out villain. But this one I actually will admit is this felt like a fleshed out villain. And speaking of villain too, Kelsey Grammer.
Oh my god.
The thing is, like, I looked over to you in the theater and I'm like, Kelsey Grammer, what are you doing? You're too good for this movie. And he is. I actually I wish he'd be in more villain roles because I kind of liked him.
He was awesome. And when Kelsey Grammer shows up, his appearance looks sinister. The way he delivers his lines are very cold. They're very to the point. But when he gets angry, you can see that fire in him too.
Yeah,
and that's what makes a good villain. Very collected until his anger shows, and then he's volatile.
Exactly. Like, not also is he really good, but I also did like Marky Mark. I mean, definitely a huge step up from Shia LaBeouf.
Oh my god.
Huge freaking step up.
Mark Wahlberg with a gun taking down robots. I'm completely fine with this. I told Dan when I heard that Mark Wahlberg was cast in the movie. I was like, this is fine. Because if he's the main guy, like, let's face it, Mark Wahlberg isn't the best actor on the planet, but at the same time, he is an action star. I can believe if he's got a fucking assault rifle in his hand,
I mean,
he's going to take some people down. Shia LaBeouf, if he was in this, would have killed Lockdown by himself.
Yeah.
And the whole time we're just like, oh, hey, Sam, the whole city's getting abducted. Whoa, no.
No, like, this time he actually, like, the main character actually seems competent. I actually believe him as a action star.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least a leading man. Because, like, let's face it, Shia LaBeouf is just a supporting actor.
Yeah, he is.
Anytime he's a leading man, I just never, ever believed him as a leading role. Mark Wahlberg, mostly for his charisma and everything, I do believe he's a leading guy.
Yeah, of course.
And I will give a little bit of credit, too. This time, I could actually tell the robots apart.
Yeah, they had personality.
They actually had a little bit, like, they didn't, because what the older films did, like, they had this weird thing where, like, they had, like, all these very small and intricate parts and looked very, very overly detailed.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of really lacked a definite, like, color scheme.
Yeah.
Like, this time you have ones that are, like, bright green, brown, yellow, blue, and, like, purple. So you can easily tell them apart. They're colorful, they have a simple design. Well, simpler.
And actually, if you look at it as well, they even did the color coding down right for alignment as well. Where you see the Autobots, they're very bright colored, or they're bright colored, they're, you know, flashy, whereas you have Lockdown, who's the villain, he's completely black, except for, like, the screen he has that comes down over his face sometimes. From head to toe, he's fucking black, and he looks evil. And that's one of the things that I've really hated about the other Transformers movies.
Right.
You could not tell, like, the Autobots had color to them, and the Decepticons didn't. But
really, they were just kind of like these
when
gray pointy things, right?
Yeah, but like when they were fighting each other, it just became this big mesh of metal, and you couldn't see anything.
The worst one was like in the second one.
Yeah,
that was because there was just like all these robots here, and this happened. But I do admit the designs did look better this time around.
Oh, I loved a lot of the character designs
because I could tell them apart. They actually had. Even Galvatron was bright frickin' silver and blue.
Galvatron had, like, set features.
Yeah.
As opposed to Megatron, it was just a bunch of fucking moving pieces.
And not to mention, too, they brought back the original Megatron to voice him finally.
Yes.
Alright. So now we talked about the good. We gotta go to the bad.
I'm gonna take this off, it's too hot.
As I mentioned before in our little synopsis, we were gonna talk about the plot. This is the dumbest plot these movies have had. I mean, okay.
The more you think about it, it's just the more it starts to hurt.
Like we said, the premise is the government, or at least the CIA, a special branch of the CIA, is going after the Transformers. Right? All the Transformers. They're lying about it to people and saying, oh, we're just going after Decepticons, while also going after the Autobots. Okay, fine, whatever. Even though it contradicts the last movie a little bit, especially considering that the Autobots are like the frickin' heroes and really the humans were more or less idiots for helping the Decepticons.
You see a theme here.
Yeah, but we'll let that slide for now. They're going on. Okay, they're hunting the Transformers. So they have a Transformer with them. And, like, all these... And the guys they hired are, like, anti-fuck the Transformers. Like, yeah, my sister was in Chicago, you fucking Transformer. And, like, they're okay with lockdown.
The obviously, like, homicidal maniac.
With his giant fuck-off ship.
And his giant gun face.
And his little army, too, that doesn't really get to do anything.
They're putties. They're fucking Transformer putties.
Not even, because the putties at least got in fight scenes.
True.
They were just there. They're just kind of extras.
True.
They're there. But anyway, so they trust him, apparently. I don't even know how they contacted to deal with him, because he's there because the makers of the Transformers want Optimus Prime for some real undisclosed reason, because he broke some treaty of his program or some bullshit. And I don't know how the hell he contacted Kelsey Grammer, because he and Kelsey Grammer are working together. Again.
Yeah, Kelsey Grammer refers to him as his asset.
And I think that would be a great deleted scene of this, of just lockdown, hovering over his ship, and then Kelsey Grammer just walks up and is like, hey, what are you doing here? Looking for Optimus Prime. Me too! Team up? Yeah! Like, I want to know how... Because again, Kelsey Grammer is very anti-Transformer.
Well, he's very anti-Transformer.
Why the fuck is he teaming up with a Transformer?
And...
It gets dumber from there. I don't know.
That's another question. Like, did they bump into each other at a fucking kegger?
Like, I like my theory of just, like, they were just there at one spot and just like, hey, you looking for Optimus Prime? Yeah, so am I. Because at least that shows they were interacting. I don't know why they're interacting.
A point you brought up off camera, too, really resonates with me. That it's like, they have this deal going on, like kind of like a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Lockdown is the only one doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, because he's also after this ancient artifact, because there's always an ancient Cybertronian artifact on Earth. There's always that. It's not the Allspark, it's the Matrix of Leadership or frickin' spaceships on the moon.
Blurry, blurry, blurry.
And the simple question is like, okay, why doesn't he just, like... He has a gun for a face.
Yes.
Why does he, like...
For a face.
If you give us Optimus Prime, I'll give you the seed. Give me the seed. Okay.
It's like, you have Optimus. Give us the seed. No. And then the ship flies away at the end.
Huh. And this gets dumber, too. Because the reason they're going after the Autobots is so that they can scrap them down and get them to the totally not Steve Jobs, played by Stanley Tucci, so he can make them Transformers. Even though they've made this giant campaign saying, fuck the Transformers. Which, again, I'm just saying is like, so, okay, you're saying to the public, yeah, fuck the Transformers, hand them in. But it's okay, we made these ones. So it's okay, they're not
Yeah,
evil.
no, these ones are cool. We control these ones.
Like I said,
They're totally not going to turn against us, guys.
guess what fucking happened? Oh, that's an even dumber thing, too. And they're doing this, okay? They're doing this by using the brain of Megatron. The fucking Decepticon who tried destroying the planet not once, not twice, three times, and almost succeeded on the third one. We're going to use his brain and point to, like, 50 robots. 50 robots!
There's no... And then, like, when they're forming these Transformers, because Transformium pretty much is like, it'll take the form of whatever it's, I believe, mentally commanded to.
I guess.
And they have developed a design for Galvatron, which... Anybody who came in here and knew anything about Transformers knows that Galvatron is the reincarnated version of Megatron. And I wonder if you figured it out by the Tron in his name.
They even named him Galvatron.
Yeah,
it's not his own name.
Yeah, and then... So they're wondering why the design... Because it's based off Optimus Prime. The redesign is based off Optimus Prime, but they're wondering why he keeps coming out looking like Megatron.
Using his fucking brain. It's like saying, hey guys, I have the brain of Adolf Hitler. Let's put it in a giant evil mech.
Let's put it in a gorilla.
In fact, I have all the brains of evil dictators. Let's just put them in our army of robots. Nothing can go wrong. And of course, in this movie, oh shit, our robots are attacking us because they have the brain of fucking Megatron. Ah.
I never saw this coming.
Oh, it was impossible to see this coming. So, dumbest plot. Not even just, and if we're not even going that, a lot of it's just borrowing from just some of the same technique.
Yeah.
Really from just a lot of the plot points they used in the last movies. Again, it's government hates robots and they're hiding secrets. Autobots trying to destroy Decepticons. Megatron's a very, very poorly developed villain. And they're all looking after an ancient artifact because it affected the history or something.
Right.
If it wasn't the hero of the Matrix affecting the pyramids, then it was the Allspark affecting our technology.
Which honestly is another thing I don't get why they I don't get why they pulled away from the Allspark. The Allspark was the center of Transformer combat.
Right.
The whole point was to get the Allspark.
And now it's just like... Eh.
So it's gone. It's in Optimus now.
Well, maybe they looked ahead and they're like, never mind, we got like 6, 7 other artifacts on this planet.
Right. It's like, and if there's so many of these artifacts on Earth, who's to say there's not like 50 more of them on another planet?
Yeah,
like Megatron be like, let's get the fuck out of here. And they just like hop on their ship that they apparently have and fly away.
Yeah, like I'm even still like questioning like, why are you even still on Earth? I mean, like, because every time they're on Earth, it's like always something different. At first, it's like we just got to defeat Decepticons, find the Allspark, and all these things. But now it's like, fuck it, there's another item. I guess that we just happen to still know about now. But anyway, if it's not the reusing of plots and just the flat out dumb plot. I mean, this isn't like Commando dumb, where it's like fun kind of dumb. This is just straight up dumb. There is, and this is something we've been saying about these movies since the very first one, annoying ass human characters get way more of a fucking focus.
I didn't go to a movie called Transformers to watch fucking Mark Wahlberg's fake daughter bone her Irish but not Irish boyfriend, who happens to have my name, by the way. And thanks for that, Michael Bay.
And he happens to also be the biggest douchebag in this fucking movie.
And he can't decide what accent he wants.
Actually, I think that was just Michael Bay saying, it's fine.
And then,
like, he just says some shit that, like, that would honestly makes me question, like, why does Mark Wahlberg not punch you the fuck out?
I want my breath to be fresh when I'm making out with your daughter. Holy shit, dude!
But I'm not saving your daughter. I'm saving my girlfriend. Like, honestly, when they're up in the ship, I'm surprised he just didn't punch him right off the freaking thing. He's like,
I was like, throw him off the motherfucker. He's an asshole.
His daughter's like, where's Shane? Oh, baby. He fought bravely, but Galba Megatron got him.
And that 1 second he was on screen.
He fought bravely. He just couldn't fight the fight. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Like, okay. They even go so far as to have a scene in there. Explain why this guy can legally fuck a 17-year-old. And I'm like,
I have my permit, thank you.
In my wallet. And I'm like, okay.
Here's...
And they literally go into like...
Here's my jailbait permit.
It's like a 5-minute scene focusing on the technicalities of the Romeo and Juliet laws of Texas. And I'm sitting here just thinking, like, can we just go back to the Autobots? Because they seem like there's a big plot with them going on. I mean, they're being hunted down and killed and harvested for parts to make, like, other robots. I think they should be focused.
Which is horrifying in retrospect.
Yeah. But it's like, no, we gotta explain that's okay that he's fucking the 17-year-old. And I look at you and I'm just like, why don't they just make him like 19?
Yeah, she's like, Dave goes, why don't they just make her 18?
Yeah, or just make him 19 so it's not as squeaky.
Here's the thing, I actually caught myself going like, well, the reason he's got his paper, because, he actually has pretty much the doctorate that says what the Romeo and Juliet laws are. So I started explaining to him. Dave goes, why does he have that in his wallet? Well, I started explaining, it's because it is kind of a sketchy thing, and that is essentially like his gun permit in case he was carrying and they pull him over. So he wanted to be able to defend himself. Dan goes, why don't they just make her 18? Because I forgot it's a movie and you can do this.
Like, or just don't even mention it at all. There's no need to mention. Like, none of this has just come off as fucking misogynistic. But at the same time, it's just like, it's fucking unnecessary and disgusting. I don't care if you want to legally, technically tell me about why it's okay for him to fuck a 17-year-old. Okay, yeah, it's weird, but you know what? It's a fucking movie. I can just go with it. If you don't even reveal their fucking age. Just say she's a senior or some shit. It doesn't need to be a scene where you explain the legality of a character having sex with another character. People don't think about that shit. They don't care.
It's totally a Michael Bay move where he always has to have that.
Actually, maybe that's what he's using to filmer.
No,
it's like, see, guys, see, I got it right here in my wallet. It's okay that I can shoot from her ass. It's okay.
But that's kind of the point I'm trying to make too, because Michael Bay always has that one girl you want to have sex with quote in the movies. So he's kind of like, don't worry, guys. No, or he had the boyfriend breaks it out. And he goes, the boyfriend's like, well, I can have sex with her, and Michael Bay kind of pops up on screen, and you can have sex with her too.
Only in Texas though. Bro, you have T.J. Miller, who I like T.J. Miller.
He's a great comedian.
But he was just, a lot of his jokes were just eh. They weren't, this wasn't frickin' Deep Wang.
Oh, God.
Or John Turturro's butt cheeks. But, which I'm actually, another thing that I am kind of glad is they got rid of a lot of, a lot of the gross out kind of humor stuff.
Yeah, they really did.
Which I'll commend him for. A lot less annoying with that. Because that was the stuff that frustrated me a lot in the first ones was, man, this could be a good plot. Oh. Now he's pissing on John Turturro.
Yeah. Oh.
Robot balls. Oh. Deep Wang, which, fuck that. But, luckily they didn't have a lot of that stuff in there. It was a lot less of that, there's no robot humping or farting or pissing or any of that kind of stuff.
Right.
But it's still annoying human characters because then you have to focus on the fact of, oh wow, they don't really know how to write any characters, do they? Because
not at all.
If you don't have the annoying ass boyfriend, you have the annoying ass girl who's more or less just bitchy. That's really her only characteristic is just bitchy.
The thing is, with her, I don't remember. What was her name? Tessa.
Tessa.
I think it was Tessa.
Yeah.
The daughter's name was Tessa, and the first time you're introduced to her, she says the line, it's no more classes, it's time to get a tan and get wasted. And then they try to have her play the serious character, like she's the one taking care of Mark Wahlberg. I'm like, you can't do that. You can't be like, hey guys, let's get fucked up.
But now
on responsibility.
Let's get fucked up on Christ. But yeah, and even then she's just bitching. There's this freaking scene where they're on tightropes. They gotta walk from lockdown spaceship.
It's like anchor cables.
Yeah, and it's anchored to this building, and they're just having this long conversation of, oh, I'm not going back there. I'm going back to the spaceship. I'm going to just, and it's a fucking.
And they're halfway through.
Yeah, and it's a long fucking sequence. It's if you're trying to make this funny, I don't care. It's not funny. It's annoying. Get back to this. In fact, I was just kind of looking at you as we haven't seen Autobots in a while.
Yeah.
Which is another thing. He doesn't understand that the people who come to see these films are just seeing the robots. They don't give a shit about all these human characters. They don't give a shit about the teen romance.
Nope.
They don't give a shit about Stanley Tucci, who I will admit, I kind of thought he was going to be like John Turturro from the last films.
Honestly, was he far off?
Almost, and not really. He wasn't showing his ass.
Oh yeah, he wasn't. There wasn't any gross out humor, but he was just as fucking annoying.
He was just as annoying, mostly because he just stated the obvious.
Dude, he didn't state the obvious like somebody. It's not like he was Captain Obvious with that hotels commercial. He had a disease that he had to say everything. I'm flying up. This is a car. This shirt is black.
That's a spaceship.
He had to say everything he saw.
In fact, every character was like that. There was no real silent moment, unless there was a soundtrack playing. Because, like, every time...
Unless Linkin Park had to show
No,
up.
Actually, it was Imagine Dragons.
Was that Imagine Dragons?
It was Battle Cry, I think, that they had. The one that they kept blaring at the fucking end, where it's like...
Yeah, you're right. That was Imagine Dragons. You're right.
It was Imagine Dragons. Like, that's, like, maybe the only time you get a silent moment. Like, every fucking character is just, like, talking. Just talking.
For no reason.
And and the thing is, I wouldn't mind that. If they had better dialogue, no. And it's just the annoying stuff. Like, there's a chase between Mark Wahlberg and one of the agents in like, China. And, like, this apartment complex is like, I'm gonna get you! You're gonna fall down!
Grrr.
You're gonna fall down! Just, like, really obvious, no shit Sherlock
Yeah, right?
stuff.
Like, he's falling. I'm falling!
No shit. And, really, it's just, like, these characters are just fucking annoying. I don't care about them. The movie doesn't make me want to care about them.
Makes
I'm
me
caring
want to
about, like,
fall off the fucking anchor cable.
Yeah, exactly. Because the scene goes on just way too long. It's just this bickering back and forth, and they're trying to be funny. You can tell Michael Bay's trying to be funny with many of these things, and I think that's the purpose of these. Is they're trying to be funny, but just...
And it's really a shame, too, and I said this when we were driving to the theater. The movie Pain and Gain... when I saw it, I thought it was going to improve my opinion of Michael Bay, because I loved Pain and Gain. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was a hilarious comedy. And it was. It ruined it more for me. Because now I know he can write comedy.
He just doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't fucking care.
He doesn't give a shit about these movies. I mean, there's really... If he gave a shit about these movies, he would have gone back to the script, handed it back to the writer and said, my face is a warrant. Really? Really?
It's like, even Joel Schumacher had the fucking decency to apologize for Batman and Robin. He was at least like, listen, I didn't want to offend anybody. I'm sorry. Michael Bay is like, fuck him.
You'll see it anyway.
He's like, you'll see it anyway.
Give me your money.
And the thing is, he wasn't wrong because we went to see it.
But to be fair... We at least didn't go see it opening day. That at least I can sleep a little easy on that.
I still need to take a couple of showers tonight.
Hey, I'm the one who had to pay the bill. So I was leaning in like, bye money. Bye. This is another thing. Like, this is a little minor thing, but this is something definitely there. This thing has the worst product placement ever. And I'm going to tell you something. Literally... This film...
They should be ashamed for how blatant the product placement is.
I know, this is literally ridiculous.
That's some good Poland Spring.
Yeah, I know, right? But anyway, it's ridiculous. It is just completely ridiculous. Because not also during this like little Transformium demonstration, like, does he say like, see? It's a stereo pill. Like, up in the camera so you see
He might as well have been like, see, it's a pill. He should have been like, it's a pill.
Buy one!
No.
Now.
Like, it should just be like, hey guys, it's the pill. By Beats by Dr. Dre.
Buy it at Best Buy or Target, wherever. And if it's not that, you got Oreo Robot, who is a transformer modeled after an Oreo vending machine. Of course, we need that.
Transform, the Autobots, transform and find milk.
Yeah, you have that. I think you have, like, JCPenney, Gucci.
Victoria's Secret.
Oh, yeah.
The most blatant Bud Light. There's a close-up pan of Bud Light bottles.
That was bad. The freaking ads we got were less...
As I was saying, I truly believe... I have seen Bud Light commercials, who, by the way, are building a fucking town for the summer. I've seen Bud Light commercials with less Bud Light in them than this movie.
And it's just ridiculous. I mean, there's literally a scene like, okay, there's a Bud Light truck going by. It gets shot down, Bud Light starts spilling out, and the camera zooms in on the Bud Light. That zooms in. So, and then there's that scene in the trailer where it's like, yeah, you crashed my car, but you have insurance. And then Mark Wahlberg goes, insurance? I got your insurance, and like cracks open the Bud Light.
I'm actually kind of convinced that Mark Wahlberg didn't know that was happening. And he's probably talking about something. Like, that guy probably pulled on screen, on set.
Right.
And he's like, hope you guys got insurance. Insurance? Hey, is this your car? And he, like, pops a cap, with one of the caps off on his car, and, like, starts drinking the beer in his face. He, like, throws the thing.
I know, and this movie's just way too fucking long. This thing did not need to be 2 hours and 45 minutes. You could... There's plot lines you can cut out. The Stanley Tucci shit? Unnecessary.
Gone.
Yeah, and yeah, oh, well, you could say, oh, but at least the Galvatron. Galvatron does diddly dick in this movie.
Galvatron shows up twice.
He doesn't even have a final fight with Optimus Prime.
He doesn't do shit in the final fight. He kind of shows up and he's like, attack the city. And then when the Autobots show up, he's like, fuck, I'm getting out of here.
Like, okay, these are actual lines that he said. This is an actual line he says. They're ruining everything. When he's losing, I'm like, oh, apparently they did want to try to write like the show now.
And then they ran away. Like,
and he's like, I'll get you next time, Prime. Like, literally stuff that you hear in a Saturday morning cartoon.
And the thing too is, like, they go to China. Like, the final thing is in China. The final fight. They go to China because Galvatron is there. They go to find Galvatron. Yeah. They don't encounter Galvatron in the city, and then everyone seems to forget that by the end of the fight, and they're like,
yeah, he just fucking runs off. Like, even after, like, that fight, after he does, like, they're ruining everything, Lockdown shows up, and they have the final fight with Lockdown, completely fucking forgetting that Galvatron's still off in the city in, like, the hills somewhere, swearing his vengeance, because sequel bait. And if it's not that, because you could just cut them out entirely.
Right.
It brings nothing. Just focus it on Lockdown. And even for a movie like its runtime, it doesn't focus on its characters. Like we said, it's not really well developed. Like, the Dinobots. The thing that people want to see, this like, oh man, I want to see Optimus Prime ride a dinosaur. Good. You'd have to wait like about 2 hours and 20 minutes to get to it. And it's not even that good.
It's not really, like, they did what they should have done with the Dinobots.
Yeah.
You have them run through, you have them bite some motherfuckers, have some light some people on fire. They did what the Dinobots do, but at the same time, it's not anything worth putting in the billing. That's kind of
honestly,
like...
it kind of reminded me of like Rhino
that's
from Amazing Spider-Man 2, yeah.
It's Rhino from Amazing Spider-Man 2, where you thought he's going to be a big, like, major component, and it's not. It's just there to sell some toys.
I'm the Dinobots!
I'm the Dinobots!
Like, really, they're just there. They don't really have any of their traits from, like, the shows or any of the media that I know about.
No.
They just kind of go roar, and they have a backstory about being the legendaries, which...
I think Grimlock said one line.
Did he?
During the scene where they're storming the city, I heard him say, I kill you.
Either that or there was, like, Optimus, because he's a fucking psycho in this movie.
No. It was literally the phrasing, I kill you.
Right.
It was like the Neanderthal kind of deal that Grimlock has going on.
Right.
But at the same time, it wasn't really worth...
You didn't really need him in the movie.
Which is, I guess, like the story of Transformers, the movies.
Yeah, I mean, they're just kind of... For something that's being so pushed heavily, it's really only there for like about 10, 15 minutes.
Right.
And that's not really worth it, because by the time we get to the final fight scene, you're like, can this fucking thing end? Because it just keeps going. And it just keeps going and going with stuff that doesn't really pay off, that doesn't really feel like it's very well developed. Like, it just feels like it's just kind of prodding around for a while.
Right.
And there's nothing really of substance. There's not really that much to engage you if you're looking for a story. The action's like okay. Your main villain's out of the picture for a while to focus on another main villain who really is poorly underdeveloped. So really, it's just a poor... It really is just a poor movie. I mean, it's the better one, but that's not really saying.
And I think one of the bigger like issues too is like just to bring up one last negative against it.
Right.
Is the point you made about Optimus Prime. They completely missed the ball with Optimus Prime. One of the key things about Optimus is that his strength lies in leadership and his compassion for other living beings. No matter what they do to them. Because don't get it wrong, even in the source material, even in the original like, Transformers and stuff, humans are dicks to Transformers.
Right.
That's why they fucking transform. So they don't find the giant death machines.
But like 50% of the time in this movie, he's like, "I'll kill you! I'll kill you!"
Yeah, and he's talking about how much he hates humans now and how much he'll like kill everybody. And to me, it's like, well, why this one time? What about all the other times the humans got you and your friends hurt or killed? Optimus, it's like you literally died protecting humans. You died. But now you got a little beat up and you're like, fuck them!
Like, I understand what they're going for because like they're killing his friends and that's where he's like really like...
Yeah, but at the same time though, Autobots were also like killed in the other battles as well.
Yeah.
By humans. Humans have killed...
Because there was like, that was a plot point in the third one where they were like working with the Decepticons.
And here's really my point. That would be kind of like if, like, Superman.
Right.
Superman's one of his defining things that he loves humanity. Excuse me, and he's sworn to protect them. He will do anything to protect humanity. That would be as dumb as him, you know, destroying an entire city at the end of a movie. But that wouldn't happen.
No.
So,
that's not what happened.
So Optimus, like, talking about how, fuck him, I'm just going to leave when this is done. And needing Mark Wahlberg to give him a pep talk?
Like, hey, Prime, you don't really hate humanity. No, you don't hate humanity. You like humanity.
And, like, honestly, too, I really want to know how Optimus is, like, Mark Wahlberg's argument is, like, well, hey, we made a mistake. It's like, I want to see Optimus like, you made a mistake?
A mistake?
You killed my friends and harnessed them to make other ones.
Well, good things can come out of mistakes. Like, my daughter was mistaken. Good thing came from that. You killed my people!
And made things with them.
Well, you don't have to be such a pussy about it.
A lot of them.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't be a Transformers movie without it.
Would it be an internet fan movie review without a lot of shit talk about a Transformers movie?
Oh, yeah. So, let's wrap things up. Okay. So, what are your final thoughts on Age of Extinction?
My final thoughts on Age of Extinction. I very much liked the character models this time. I thought they were very well done. I loved how they looked compared to the other movies. That was one of the big things for me. If I'm going to be looking at these robots, I really want to like how they look, and I did. For what their personalities were, as not like they weren't really flushed out, but for what they were, I was glad that these like Transformers actually had some kind of character as opposed to just like they're transformed.
Yeah.
And I for all the stuff that we say about Mark Wahlberg, I enjoyed him. At least, because I believe him as the lead guy in this. When he's killing Transformers or robots, because you don't see any of the like Lockdown's guys transform.
Right.
When he's doing this, you believe it because he's Mark fucking Wahlberg, and he looks like he would be able to lay somebody down if he had an alien machine gun.
Right.
So, I am with that choice. However, there are the giant plot holes, or just like places they went to that should not have been there. There are the giant mistakes in bringing in Galvatron for no reason, or like bringing Galvatron in and then not doing anything with him, who, by the way, is supposed to be like the supreme Transformer, and not counting like Omega Supreme and Unicron, which I fear is going to be the next movie.
You know it is.
I don't want to see that.
They're probably going to make a bunch of fat jokes because Orson Welles was...
Right. But, like, really, overall, if I was giving it a rating out of, like...
Let's say 5.
Out of 5, I'd give it, like, a 2. Because I liked certain things about it a lot more than I liked in the other movies. But at the same time, there's so much bad that it's just like, I can't forgive the faults for the few things I liked.
Right.
It's it's one of the better Transformers movies. That's not saying much.
And I can say the same thing exactly, because the stuff that I did like were stuff that I found more or less tolerable. That's the one thing I did enjoy about this movie. I found it tolerable.
Right.
I didn't come out hitting, because straight up, I came up out of 3 calling this thing a piece of shit.
Just hate in his eyes.
I remember, like, I think I screamed it out loud when I walked out. I was so angry, like, this is a piece of shit! You were there with me when I said that.
Yeah.
And so, at least that, it does look like they're kind of learning some of the things, or at least taking some of the criticisms that they got from the last ones.
Only took them 4 fucking movies.
Yeah, it took 4 movies, and even then they're still making the same problems, which is my main complaint. Even though they're taking small steps, it's still like a lot of the major problems are still there. More of the human characters come into focus, where really, these are 4 films. They have enough money to just make it mostly about the Transformers.
Yeah.
There's really no reason. And the thing is, even if it was, this one, while it does have a little bit more of a Transformers-centric plot, a lot of it just kind of cuts back from long stretches to just Mark Wahlberg and his situation. They're not really that interesting.
No.
I mean, I like Mark Wahlberg, but it's less really about the character that he has, and just more that Mark Wahlberg is a charismatic actor.
Yeah.
And even the same thing with Kelsey Grammer. Not because of his character, because Kelsey Grammer is a good actor. He's charismatic.
Exactly.
And it just felt like that, because this movie's like 2 hours and like 45 minutes, a lot of those problems, because like for the first like around 30 or so minutes, I was kind of okay with it.
Mm.
I was alright, where maybe I could see it okay, but then it's just like, it just felt like for the last 2 acts, it's like, hey, let's hit the stupid button as hard as we can and just throw everything at it to the point where it just gets long and boring.
Look at all these toys you can buy!
Yeah. And if it's not just the sense that, you know, for the dumb plot, bad writing, annoying characters, you're dealing with the same plot points that we've seen recycled from the other ones again, so it's nothing really new being brought to the table except dinosaurs.
Right.
And that's why it's just like, I can come away with it saying it's the better one of the series, but to me that's not a lot, because I think this series needs a lot of freaking improvement. It needs a new creative team to kind of come in and start seeing, what are people seeing these movies for? Okay, here's what we focus on. People love this element. Let's give them this. Let's stop focusing on this, because this is not what people want.
No.
I'd go like a 2 out of 5 kind of deal.
Right.
Because the runtime really does kill this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Because it is a long-ass movie. I mean, what you don't know is we're still watching the movie.
It's still playing. We just can't leave.
It's still playing. Like, we just came here for a break. And really, it's just what kills the movie. If you took out a good chunk of this movie, like, you could take out like an hour.
Yeah.
Of this movie, and I'd actually say it's much better. I'd actually say it would be much more decent.
Yeah, for sure.
Instead, it drones on way too long. Stuff is really underdeveloped. It's just suffering the same problems that we had before.
It's actually really amusing that a movie that runs for 2 hours and 45 minutes, one of the biggest problems is underdevelopment.
Yeah, you'd think with the 2 hours and 45 minutes we'd have a lot of development. And considering the plot lines, you think the Transformers would get the ultimate thing, but they still just kind of feel like they're added into their own movies.
Right.
And that's the biggest problem with the franchise. They feel like they're added into their own movies. Alright, so that's all we got for Transformers Age of Extinction. Tune into our channel at Dan's Video Den, and we will have more content available, as well as more videos like this, as well as Dan's Video Den episodes. You can also follow us on Twitter, and until next time, I'm Dan.
And I'm Shane, and I'm so afraid for Ninja Turtles.
Oh, God.